All right, let's have a spectacular day with the charts today in the crypto market. But before we get started, let's go ahead and look at a quick disclaimer. All right, today is July 9th, 2025. It is, Wednesday already. And the goal of this call is to break down some of the charts, some of the interesting things that we can possibly be seeing in the crypto markets. And let me know any questions, comments you have. And let's have an amazing session today. Okay, first things first is let's look at the total crypto market by market cap. I really love looking at this chart because it's going to give me an idea of what the overall market is doing from a macro perspective. If the market is trending upwards, that's usually going to bode well to long positions, downwards, short positions, and so on and so forth. So right now we kind of have a complex market. If we look at the weekly chart here, you can see here that the weekly chart is showing us that the market is in an uptrend. And if we start to actually dive a little bit more granular onto the daily chart, you can see our weekly uptrend. We do have this cup formation here on the total crypto market. We can actually increase this cup right here a little bit higher if we wish to. Let's go ahead and get this to where this makes sense. I can do this without ruining anything. There we go. Okay. So we have this nice cup with handle formation. This is actually a bullish reversal formation. You can see it's the bounce off of the weekly trend line right here. And over the past, what was it? Let's see how many days here. Over the past about 50 days, the market has been consolidating downward in this handle, this descending channel pattern. And the really interesting thing is what is happening today. So we're seeing right here, there's actually a breakout to the upside of this pattern, which could be the breakout for the entire pattern itself, which might be pretty interesting. I mean, if we take just a line from the low to high of this cup formation and we take it to the neckline, we can see that there may be a breakout potential to about $4.5 trillion. Also, if we just look at the width of the channel and make a line from low to high there, we can also see that the market is likely to get back up to its prior highs here around 3.76 trillion. So exciting news that there is this breakout here. I'm going to actually just highlight this in orange to make it easy. I like to make orange as the ambiguous, where we're trying to determine how the market is going to behave there. As long as the market holds above this consolidation, this handle consolidation, that should be in breakout territory. However, the market is still downtrending. We're not seeing the market fully trend upwards yet and switch those trends. You can see this key supply zone basically between 3.57 trillion and 3.42 trillion. Here's where the market had a little bit of bullish support. And ever since then, the market has not been able to recover above that level. So we'll have to see if the market actually starts to build into this level and actually gain some support and get some sort of evidence that these sellers are no longer there. But something that can give us a potential indicator, or maybe if a leading indicator, if that could be Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is having a pretty significant breakout right now, getting close to breaking past its all-time highs in the market here. So we have prior all-time highs up here at, what is that, 109, 350, I'm sorry, 358. But the actual all-time highs that I'm looking for are up here. So that is 112,000. Let's see where Bitcoin has gotten to. Actually it broke all-time highs at 112,152. So Bitcoin just nipped all-time highs right as I was creating this video, or right before I created this video. So very interesting. And also from a chart pattern perspective, we have this nice cup formation and handle as well. And you can see this is the breakout candle. And if there is an equal measured move, say, from this neckline, the market could potentially make its way up towards that $140,000 level. And just to kind of show this like before, how sometimes these equal measured moves, even though they sound sometimes a little bit ridiculous, they do happen. I think it's more of a crude measure. The price is the price as the market moves through these levels. But if we just draw from low to high from, say, this cup formation, let's draw a little low to high here. We can see that this breakout from that level, if it is an equal measured move, was actually much further than that. So it could actually be a conservative estimate to see Bitcoin getting towards that $140,000 level. But we will have to see as this pans out. Next thing we'll do is look at Ethereum. Ethereum has just been ranging sideways for the last, let's see here, ranging sideways for the last 61 days, having some chop to the upside, chop to the downside. Could ETH finally be ready to push up and break through this consolidation to the upside? ETH is has a lot more to go compared to Bitcoin to get to all-time highs. ETH's all-time high is still back here in November 2021. We're about 77% away from that when it comes to ETH. Take a look at Bitcoin dominance, see what percent of the market is Bitcoin. We're actually seeing Bitcoin dominance start to fall a little bit, but it indeed could bounce again, coming down to this major trend line. And like we're seeing, Bitcoin is about to, or just dabbled into new high territory. Okay, another one I like to look at is gold. Gold has had this really strong uptrend since early 2025. We can see gold actually starting to roll over a little bit. It's pressing into that trend line pretty heavily here. We have gold where it had its prior all-time high. Now we're starting to see a lower high and potentially a breakout to the downside, but it is not there yet. If gold does start to break down, that could mean that the market is starting to feel comfortable enough to sell their gold reserves, right? Market participants selling gold could mean a risk on behavior, getting out of a risk off asset. All right. Also, let's look at a few altcoins here. Let's check out XRP. XRP, let's go ahead and just zoom out just a little bit here. XRP, if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, we can see a bullish pennant formation. We have this nice flagpole right here to the upside, and then we have our pennant formation. Let's get rid of that. And you can see that XRP is potentially breaking out of its structure as well. Pretty interesting. Could there be another leg up for XRP potentially? And things get really crazy when you start going to the monthly chart. And we're just going to go on a logarithmic chart to make it easy for us to see here. XRP on this monthly actually looks very similar to how it did back in 2017, where XRP had this big breakout from this downtrend, pennant formation, then another breakout to the upside. If we draw a downtrend over here, we can see a big breakout from this downtrend formation, and we have another pennant formation. And it could be that the monthly candle is starting to break out to the upside for XRP. Could we see something crazy like we did back here in 2017, the end of 2017? This move from this pennant breakout was around 1,000%. The move to the upside from this, probably not going to be 1,000% because it is a larger market cap at a higher price than before, a lot more capital it'll take to move up. Also, we don't necessarily see much volume coming into XRP just yet. However, if that changes, if there does become some serious volume coming into here, maybe that could be another confirmation that XRP could be ready to push up. I'm going to mark this up just once again. Okay, let's look at Dogecoin over here. Dogecoin, one of the larger cap altcoins here, probably the meme coin of choice. You can see a little bit of a double bottom forming. We have a low here, a higher low here for Dogecoin. Could Dogecoin be finding a little bit of a bottom? If we look at Solana, Solana also creating a little bit of a higher low. You can see here our low, seeing a higher low for Solana. Let's look at Avalanche. Potentially seeing a double bottom from Avalanche. So we're starting to see some of the major altcoins actually start to create some potential bottoming formations. If we look at the total crypto market, or the total 3 market, which will be the altcoin space, I've noted before, if we look here, there's a major uptrend for the total crypto market on, I'm sorry, total crypto market excluding Bitcoin, excluding ETH. You can see here, cup with handle formation. We're seeing a breakout as well. So altcoins seem to be breaking out as well. So hopefully that was helpful. We're starting to see some breakouts happen here in the crypto market, in the altcoin market. Also, if we look at the equities market, like we mentioned last time, equities, here's the prior all-time highs for the S&P 500. There's this V-shaped recovery, and the stock market has been breaking to new highs as well. The NASDAQ also breaking to new highs. So a lot of times, at least sometimes logically, a lot of times the market moves from least risky to most risky. Gold, bonds, all getting bought up in high risk times. And then in lower risk times, we start to see stocks bid up, and then even more risky, potentially crypto. We can check out some bonds too. We can see here, 10-year kind of staying flat here, but maybe starting to break down just a little bit. Yields also potentially starting to come down, but still remaining flat. The Fed is looking to potentially lower interest rates in September, and that could really change the game for the markets. But overall, very curious when it comes to the breakout here, this cup with handle breakout for the total crypto market. Are we going to see the market start continuing to the upside from here? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next session.